here it sits, day in, day out. Nobody notices at the corner of 4th and Portland.
Heck, I've driven by this thing at least twice a day for the last 2.5 years, and even I haven't noticed it.
But what exactly is it in the first place? This plain gray average post that looks worse for wear.
For that, we turn to Sherlock Holmes, better known as...
My name's Mike Barry, and I'm a volunteer at the Historical Society, and I'm also a land surveyor. I've been surveying in Central Oregon for 46 years or so.
During the height of the pandemic, someone approached Mike with a question.
We got an inquiry from someone that lives around here asking what this thing was, and no one knew. I mean, we know this is a power pole and this is a sign, but what's this thing here? It's very old.
Mike's sleuthing led him to Uncle Sam.
I had contacted the post office about it, but that was, right in the, when all this came about, that was right in the midst of the worst part of the pandemic, so it wasn't easy to access their archives or anything, but we came up with enough to know what it is.
Mike teamed up with John and Jean Fry from the Historical Museum, and John and Jean let their fingers do the talking.
And they started Googling, and the answer was found in New York City. There's a website called Forgotten New York, and it has a bunch of these posts.
But what, may I ask, are these posts?
This right here is a concrete post that was set over 100 years ago, and its purpose was as a letterbox.
It's essentially a monument to a bygone era in the history of Central Oregon, when Bend first started to boom.
And by 1920, there were enough homes over here for the U.S. Post Office to start doing deliveries out this way. And at that time, there were 2 letter carriers, and they were going to put on a 3rd. And hopefully that one was going to be on horseback, where he could cover more ground at the time.
So this nondescript, average-looking hunk of concrete sat through rain, sleet, and snow, and by around the 1950s got decommissioned.
And yet here it continued to stand in complete anonymity. Until now.
But it's quite fortunate that this didn't get taken out. This sidewalk here is relatively new. They put a ramp in it, and they redid the curbs and stuff.
And here it will continue to sit, seeking no fame, no fortune, asking nothing of the citizens. All thanks to a little divine providence.
But the city of Bend, when they let the contractor do that, they didn't know what this was, but they didn't just knock it down. They left it there, and now it's on TV.
Here's to you, nondescript mail post. You're an oldie, but you sure are a goodie. For Central Oregon Daily News, I'm meteorologist Scott Elmas.